you will definitely feel your light sometimes. It will feel like it's being wavered by darkness. You are the light. You have to remember, you are the light. And at times, yes, you will feel like it's being wavered by darkness. One of the things I love is having you all here ask questions, because I believe, and now I realize that most of the time when you're asking a question, it's a question that other people are either number one, sometimes too scared or shy to ask, or number two, they didn't even realize that that's the question they needed to ask. We had a beautiful question asked by Lady Candian One. She asked the question of sometimes, and this was in regards to, I believe we were talking about how to give you context, we were talking about how other people can dim out your light and how important it is for you to stay strong. It was, I can't remember which videos, 2 videos back, I believe. And what Lady Candian said is, sometimes my light gets wavered by darkness. How do you keep it strong and stay confident? So one of the things you have to always realize is that we all have, I think, one of my mentors, I believe it was Myron Golden, Dr. Myron Golden, mentor who I love. Um, he said something along the lines of, we all have the same words, but we have a different dictionary. Catch me on that. And what that means is we say words, and we have to understand that someone else's definition of that same word may be completely, totally opposite of ours. One of the things, I'm actually here in Mexico right now. One of the things that I used to do all the time was I used to go and get like they have huge jugs. They're probably like 20 liters or something like that of juices. You can find it everywhere in Mexico. Orange juices, lemon juice, lemon and cucumber juice, coconut water, coconut pulp juice, all these kind of juices. And I used to get it all the time. And the question I used to ask the lady was, is there a lot of sugar in this? And she'd be like, no. And I went there for months. But I noticed my energy was starting to be down in the middle of the day. And I was like, that's weird. There has to be something. It's something that I'm eating. And then all of a sudden, I happened to look and see them putting the sugar in this huge jug. Not even a huge jug. I could drink it all in about 4 days myself, 3 days. And I asked, how much do you guys put in there? How much sugar you put in there? The lady told me a kilo. Now, if you're from the US, a kilo is 2.2 pounds. They put 2.2 pounds of sugar in the coconut water that I was drinking every day. They put 2.2 pounds in the lemon water that I was drinking every day. But seeing it, that definition, seeing what she meant by a lot, I was like, oh, wow. We had totally different definitions of a little bit, excuse me. And then I went to the other lady who I asked. I said, how much sugar do you guys put in this? The lady who I get all my coconut waters from. She said, 2. I said, 2 what? She said she puts 2 kilos of sugar in this big thing. It's like maybe this, like I'm a big guy, but it's like a water jug, like a big water jug, basically. Like if you had 3 people living in the house, you'd finish it in like 2 days. 5 pounds or 4.4 pounds of sugar. But it, the problem wasn't the sugar, and the problem wasn't that she lied to me. The problem was that when she said not a lot, I based her word of not a lot off of my word of not a lot. So we have to get clear. So when we come back to this question, how do I keep it strong and stay confident? Meaning your life, meaning your light that you have. Well, what do you mean by keep it strong? And what is your definition of confidence? And confident, because most people think confidence is this like, well, they're welcome to think that because it's your own definition. But a lot of people have the definition of confidence is like you're never scared of anything you don't, and you just keep going. The definition that I use is terrified, but do it anyways. It's something that I try to get everyone that I work with, everyone that I talk to, I try to get them to think this same thing. Because if you can be terrified and do it anyways, terrified and do it anyways, there there is power in that. So the question is, I think the question that you want to ask, Lady Candian, because the questions matter, maybe there's a higher quality question that you can ask. How do I keep my light? How do I keep it strong and stay confident? What's a better question that could be asked? What's a more empowering question that could be asked? If I just look at it, I didn't pre-think this. If I say, how do I keep it strong and stay confident? I would probably even change that to why? Why must I keep my light going? Because you have to remember the definition of darkness that we gave. Because most people use darkness as, definition once again. Darkness is like this overwhelming force that takes over my light. It's this person that comes out and throws it on me. Where the definition of darkness that I use is understanding that darkness is not something that overpowers light. Darkness is the absent of light. Darkness is the absent of light. So to say someone takes away your light, who controls your light? Let's start right there. Who's controlling your light? We have to be very careful where we put our energy at. I can't remember the last time it happens, but I ride a motorcycle. I rode in Asia, and there it's just crazy, hectic, but there are no rules driving, so it doesn't really matter. Here, where it's a little more like almost advanced from like driving lanes and lights and all that, I would think it'd be more almost like civilized, so to speak, of like there's more enforced rules. And every day as I ride my motorcycle, probably once a day at least, someone does something crazy. Where if I wasn't paying attention, I would be hit. They do it in cars as well. And I realize that it's like they're not dimming my light by me getting irritated. It's my reaction to something. So someone cut me off. I can remember one a while back. He cut me off. He was riding the back of my motorcycle, and I happen to be I have like a city motorcycle, and I have other ones. But this one, my city motorcycle, isn't that powerful. So I can't just take off and leave him. So as he was riding, I couldn't really do anything. As he was right on the back of me, then he passed me and cut me off. And then I went around him again, and I just looked at him, shaking my head, and I remember being so irritated. So in that aspect, my light was being dimmed. So darkness was evident, was present. But darkness isn't present because of something that comes. Darkness is present because of the lack of light that's there. But if you believe that you are the light, if you truly believe you are the light, you control the darkness. You control the darkness. Whoever controls the light controls the darkness. Because whoever controls the darkness doesn't control the light, because the darkness is the absent of the light. Yeah, y'all got to take some notes on that. You have to write that down. So someone trying to take out my light, what happened was I ended up getting angry and allowing that anger to dim my light so I could become on the same level as that other person. If you think about it, most of the people that irritate you, that irritate us, usually it's because they just don't follow our rules of doing things. Like I stop on red light, you ran the red light, that irritates me because you could have hit me and hurt me because you're not following the same rules. So therefore, I have to lower myself to what you're feeling and what you're doing so that I can be on the same level. And then once I do that, I have to also remember that I'm dimming my light anytime I come down to that level. I ran a program a while back, and I actually, since I've run it, I'll probably run it again at some point in time. The programs and the challenges, they're all coming soon, guys. Not just these master classes every Friday we have, which are so valuable and I love. We have one tonight, depending on when I'm uploading this video. It's at 7 p.m. tonight. When you sign up, there's a way that you can see. If not, you can sign up for next one. There's already people who sign up for this masterclass tonight and tomorrow and next Friday. So I'm excited. And the one thing I got off on a tangent there. That's what happened. I can't come back. What was I saying? I'll come back to it. But we have to remember that because darkness is the absence of light, anytime we come down to the level of other people, thinking we have to try to explain myself, or oftentimes we try to get them to understand our way of seeing things. And I've realized anytime I don't like someone, or I'm irritated, or there's any kind of hatred, any kind of not good feeling towards someone, it's usually because I really don't understand them. Like I've really taken into consideration. Anytime I get mad, I don't understand them. Because I remember this guy who cut me off as I was on my motorcycle. He was in a red car, I never forget. And I was mad. Like the first thing that came over me was madness. I didn't want to deny that. That's how I'm feeling. And because I was mad, I remember thinking, like, you know what? It make me so mad when people do stuff like that. And one day maybe I hope I don't snap. I'm pretty good at regulating my emotion, but some people push it. They push it a little too much. And as I was thinking that, I started to think of, well, what if that guy just told me that his mother just died and he was rushing to see her, or his mother was dying and he was rushing to see her? Would that change my situation? Would that change the way I feel? For most of us, yes, it would. It would absolutely change it. And most of the time, when we're feeling a certain way, or we are feeling a certain way towards something or someone, oftentimes we really aren't understanding them. Literally, a bug literally flew in my nose. I feel like a bug flew in my nose up through my brain, and now it's trying to get out. But that seeking understanding in the situation, and sometimes, just like as a pro athlete, sometimes people would talk trash about us, and we would see it on the internet, because not talk trash, but we play on a Saturday, and Friday there'd be an article that came out. We'd have an article, like the newspaper would come in and interview us, some of us players, on Fridays, to ask us, what do you think about the game tomorrow, and the other teams as well. And they posted on Facebook. They post, this was the news article from yesterday, and our coach would sometimes come in and say, he said that this team can't wait to defeat us because we apparently seemed tired the last game, and that would be motivating to us. And I remember one day we didn't hear about what the other team was going, what they said about us, and I remember myself just being kind of like not as motivated. They just didn't Basketball just didn't seem like it was so important to that team, because this happened to be when I was in France. I played pro in France for 8 years. And I was like, I guess the team that I played for, I guess some teams just don't take it as serious as other teams. Like, they don't have a crazy fan base because they're like in the mountain town or something, like. Or usually the teams in the mountains have the biggest fans. And no one said anything. And when we got into the arena, no one really booed us. They just kind of came, watched, and that was kind of it. And then I started to think, I was like, I got to make up something. I need to have something like this to light that fire. I need something to catch that spark. And for me to catch that spark, I was going to be something along the lines of, they just think we're going to mess up. I would just make up stories and tell myself. And it worked. It worked. If I needed the motivation, I was tired before the game, I'm like, oh, they think I'm getting older. Oh, they think I'm out of shape. Oh, they think I played back at last game, so that's how I'm going to play this game. And when I had that, I started to think to myself, and that caused a chain reaction in me, and that woke me up. And sometimes when I feel myself like even starting to get mad, I just imagine something else. Like they have something extremely important that they have to get to. Have I ever been late to something where I've done something that's maybe not the best for driving practices, or in a rush to get somewhere, and I just disregard other people? Have I ever had moments like that? And couldn't it be that moment that I had like that wasn't so great, but my reason justified it in my mind? Couldn't he be having one of those moments right now, or whoever's driving that car? So I say that because sometimes maybe you just need to tell yourself something to make yourself feel a little bit better. Not to ignore the situation, but to keep your light going. And maybe we'll end on this, which is probably one of my favorite quotes. I actually was going to get it tattooed there was a time I was going to get it. And it said, it was like, I can't remember exactly how it goes, funny enough. I have to think about it. But it was something along the lines of, set your life on fire and then seek those who fan your flame. What that means is create your life as like a fire. Like, set it on fire. Do the things that you love. Become the person who you want to be. It means like something like do something purposeful and meaningful, and then find other people who will support you in it. Find other people who will give you advice. Find other people who can point you in the right direction. Find people who can introduce you to the correct people. Find people who will question the things that you do just to make sure that you have it reaffirmed in your own mind. I think we all need people like that. And with that being said, Lady Candy, and I appreciate your question. And any questions you guys have, just leave it down below, and we'll definitely. I really love making things clear for you as I do this. For example, how do I keep it strong and stay confident? Me here, like I made entertaining videos for so long, And when I made those videos, many people watched it. I did very well, got a lot of connections, I made decent money, and it was really fun to do. And now I've transitioned because I really want to work with people who are who know that they're called to be more than they are, and they won't rest. They won't cut any corners to make sure that they get done what they believe they were put here on this world, in this earth, to do. And if they haven't figured it out, they keep going because they're hungry. I realized I was making entertaining videos that was fun, but the people who ended up paying me money, joining my programs, they were people who were serious about it. They were hungry people. And when I asked them, what brought you here? It was very rarely that they said, oh, I saw you traveling and having fun and I want to be just a part of that. Oftentimes it was like, it was something that you said. It was something that you said that clicked with me. And I was like, this guy gets me and he can help me. And it was for that I was like, well, why am I not making just content like that in general? And as I do it, I get comments every day on other videos all the time of, why don't you do this? Or why should you do this? Go back to doing this. But at the end of the day, you have to know what you're called to do and commit to the destination before the path is shown. Got that from Eileen Wilder. I'm actually in her program right now, in her 5-day masterclass. Tomorrow's the last day. And it's something that's so true. And I will say this, and I'll end on this, Lady Kendian, is as soon as I read your question, I said, how do you keep it strong and stay confident? I heard a whisper in my mind. And it was like in the voice of Mufasa from The Lion King, Simba's dad. And all I heard in my mind was, remember who you are. So any of you guys going through something right now, remember who you are. Look at the evidence of your past, of situations that you didn't think you were going to get out of, and you made it out okay. And maybe it still hurts, but I bet you if you join us in our master classes, or you find someone who can help guide that energy, you'll realize that oftentimes the hardest thing you went through was to set you up for the best thing. And that if you learn how to harness that energy of what you went through, you can help other people avoid that same thing. So with that, love you guys, and I'll see you all. Some of you guys, I'll see you tonight in the master. Oh, no, because I already posted video today. So I guess I'll see you guys next Friday in the master class. That's linked below. We're going to have a challenge coming up soon. As also, by the way, for you guys still watching, I'm going to have I think a 2 or 3 day challenge coming up here to help you guys or I don't want to spoil too much, but we're going to help you guys get seen a little bit more in the online space and spreading your message and what you put here to share. So with that, love you guys. See you all in the next session, or next video, or maybe in the podcast, or maybe somewhere. I'll see you guys soon. And shout out to anyone from TikTok here. See ya.